Let's do some makeup while I share with you the absolute busiest day I have ever had as a party princess. This story is in honor of it being Easter Sunday because the busiest day of my career as a party princess was Easter Sunday 2024. In my experience as a party princess, holiday weekends tend to be slower. A lot of people don't want to have birthday parties on like Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend, any kind of weekend that might have other things going on. I tend to not be working. Easter is the one exception. Today is the first Easter Sunday that I have not been working in a long time, and that is because I've started my own company and I don't offer the Easter Bunny. But when I was working for other companies, we did offer the Easter Bunny, and rather than having birthday parties, which is the kind of work I'm usually doing, a lot of parents would want the Easter Bunny to surprise their kids on Easter Sunday. So a flashback to Easter of 2024, which is the busiest day I have ever had in my 5 years of princessing. I had 5 parties in one day. And now I consider a busy weekend to be like 3 parties on a Saturday, 2 or 3 parties on a Sunday. So to have 5 in one day was absolutely crazy. To be fair, these were shorter events. I don't think any of them was longer than an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most. Actually, the first one was originally supposed to be 2 or 3 hours, I think, but they ended up letting us leave early. The lecture of this day was very long as well. So I was already up late the night before because it was my roommate at the time's birthday and we had a party at our house. So I was up until all hours of the morning with that. And my first booking, it's Easter Sunday, I think you want to wake up with the Easter Bunny there, was at 9 a.m. It's also one of the nicest house I've ever been to. I don't know why I said one of, this is the nicest house I've ever been to. I actually had to sign an NDA for this event. I was sort of expecting famous people at the house. I didn't recognize anyone there. I don't know how much I can actually say without violating the NDA, but let's just say this house was insane. Sorry, I had to finish my eyes off camera. But anyway, like I said, it was one of the nicest houses I've ever seen. I ended up looking it up on Zillow after the party, and it was something like a $36 million house. I don't know if I am even allowed to tell you that, but I'm not telling you where it is, so. Although I will say I had one of the most insane views of LA I've ever seen in my life. That was a beautiful home. I honestly think the concept of booking an Easter Bunny for your kids for Easter morning is really sweet. This family had the cutest kids, and we just were there to kind of like have tea with them in the morning and open up their Easter baskets. I was not playing the Easter Bunny. I was playing a handler, so I wore just like a cute little dress and was just kind of like facilitating, making sure the Easter Bunny looked really good, making sure everything went smoothly. We had breakfast with them and they ended up letting us leave pretty early. But that was only one of 5 events of the day. I still had 4 more events to get to after that. Luckily, I was just in my host out for all of them until the very last one, the 5th party of the day. I was a blue fairy along with the Easter Bunny. Luckily, I was also with the same performer for that whole day. So we were just kind of like, we weren't carpooling, but we were like, okay, see you at the next one. Okay, see you at the next one. So we didn't have to worry about either of us being late for anything. They were back to back to back, but we were just kind of going. The rest of the day is kind of a blur after that. I remember the first one very vividly because it was a very formative party for me, my first NDA ever. But I remember the last one because I remember having to switch into the fairy costume. I remember being more exhausted that day than I think I've ever felt in my life. Even if they're short parties, 5 parties in a day is such intense work. Like, entertaining kids for that long feels so draining. I've never had a day since then that I had that many gigs in one day. I think maybe 4 is the most I've had other than that, like 1 5-party day, which like really stands out to me. 3 or 4 is kind of pushing it. I've done 4 a couple times, but 3 is usually my max for a day because it's quite exhausting. Even if you're the same character all day, it's just a lot of energy to expel. Last year, I only had 1 party on Easter morning, and I'm honestly being completely off today. I don't have any parties today. I'm feeling very nostalgic for that time now that I've started my own company and I pretty much only do princesses these days. I still work for other companies here and there, but not as often, and I am feeling very nostalgic and missing those very special busy mornings. Just something so very fulfilling about a very full busy day as a party princess. Like, all the joy you bring, all the kids you meet, and it being so, I don't know, a busy day at any job kind of makes me feel really good when the day is done, and I feel very like satisfied and fulfilled. But when it comes to bringing joy to children, it just like magnifies it 1,000%. I started my own princess company. Business is definitely slower, especially since I'm in a new area, but I'm very hopeful and very confident that I have some very, very busy days in my future. So wish me luck. Happy Easter.